Welcome back, Rankers. Look, it's gone. It feels so good. Thank you to everybody this November that sponsored my Mo. I think we raised a bit of cash there for men's health. So my wife says I'm not allowed to do it next year, but we'll see about that. Right. People always ask me how to get backlinks. What's the best way to get backlinks? And there's a number of different ways out there that you can get backlinks. But one of the ways that you shouldn't be doing is comment spamming on people's blogs or their site if there's room for comments. And what's comment spam? Well, you may remember I did a interview with the National Australia Bank spokesperson, Felicity Glennie Holmes, a couple of months ago, about the PR company they were using at the time that was going into people's blogs and leaving comments of a commercial nature. The reason it's a bad thing, it's rude. You're passing your marketing costs onto the person who's operating or owning the blog, rather than just maybe buying an ad on their site or whatever. That's comment spam. Comments that serve absolutely no purpose, but the reason that people do it is so they can get a backlink from the website onto their back to their site, so Google thinks they're more popular, basically. And there's tools out there that excuse me. There's tools out there that automate this process for you, but don't do it because you're just going to get a lot of people angry. And one of them will be me if you happen to comment spam my blog. Now, you'll get me even more annoyed if you're a local Australian SEO company and you're spamming my site, as happened to us last night. Okay, what we have here is our comment system. We use Joomla, as many of you know, and this is a free component that plugs into our system and allows people to make comments on all the articles and that sort of stuff on the site. What we can see here, now I'm not going to show you the company name, I'm going to hopefully mask that because I don't want to point to this company and say, look at this Australian company, aren't they terrible? What I want to do is to say, don't do this, and check with you, if you're using an SEO company or a web developer, check how they're making their backlinks. Now, all our customers, there's only a couple of ways that we'll do backlinks, but I tell you what we won't do. We won't spam blogs, and we will not spam forums, because both of those things are areas where people contribute, get value out of, and there's no harm in getting backlinks from forums as long as you're contributing to the forum and you're a active member and all those sorts of things. But if we have a look here, we can see that this particular comment spammer is actually coming out of India. So this Sydney-based SEO company has hired an Indian subcontracting company to spam my blog. Now, they're probably spamming a whole lot of other SEO blogs around the country. So if I know a few other SEO companies watch this show. So if you are getting spammed by this company, please let me know. And Jasmine, I mean you, if it's happening to you, which I'm guessing it will be because these guys are trying to rank for the phrase SEO Melbourne, right? Now, as many of you know, stuartmedia.biz is #1 for SEO Melbourne. So what these guys are doing is that they're coming to stuartmedia.biz site and spamming. Not only once, but twice. Now, as a local SEO company, I just can't believe that they're doing it. Not only is it rude, it's just bloody stupid, because I'm going to look up that IP address of the person that comment spam me. I'm going to look at the link of where they've placed the link and what site it's going to. And I'm going to find out pretty quick that I'm being spammed. Now, when I went and checked out this company that seems to be responsible for this, the general manager doesn't have a Facebook page, isn't available on Twitter, there's no direct phone number for the person. I emailed him a couple of times last night. One of them bounced. I don't know if he's got any of them this morning, but I will be following him up. Because if there was ever a search engine optimization Australian code of conduct, this would be one of the first things I would want to outlaw, is comment spam. Because the idea of getting backlinks through a forum, let's go and just quickly have a look at a forum. let's just go say, well, Whirlpool Broadband Forums, one of Australia's oldest and most popular forums. And if we just go into broadband and let's go and have a look at the government filtering stuff. Now, a lot of these people, well, not a lot of these people on this forum, but a lot of forums allow you to have signatures, especially if they're business forums. This Whirlpool's not necessarily a business forum. It's more of a help forum. But in most business forums, they would allow you to have, say, what we call a signature, like you do in your emails. And whenever every post that you make, you get a link back to your site. Now, probably only one of those links is actually going to count as far as Google's concerned. But you don't just go in, wade into the forum and say, hi, everybody, and leave a link. That's not what forums are about. Forums are about going in, contributing, helping. The thing I usually do is that I go in and I look for people who need help. And if I can answer their questions, I will. And I'll get a backlink. And the people in the forum will be very pleased with my efforts, hopefully. And they'll recommend me. I've had several jobs through forum recommendations from forums all over the planet. So it pays to make sure that you're contributing in a positive way. Whilst comment spam, you wouldn't necessarily say it's a black hat technique. It's certainly not a white hat one. And check with your SEO company or your web developer to make sure they're not doing it. Because the thing that concerns me about this is that this year we've seen a lot of mailing lists hit the Australian scene, where we're seeing a lot of Australian businesses actually spamming in the traditional sense of email spam, because they've bought lists that are certainly not opt-in lists. As I said last week, I don't think any opt-in list, unless it's your own, is worth a pinch of salt, because who's going to give up a valuable opt-in list and let you spam it? So don't go out and buy mailing lists in Australia. I don't know about the rest of the world, but certainly here, it ain't working. Someone is selling mailing lists where they've basically just gone off and harvested addresses. And I've got several pieces of spam that tell me I actually opt into this list, which is just, I don't want to swear, but it's just untrue. It's a fabrication. So one thing that we always do with our own clients when we're building links is make sure that we're getting them from themed sites. Sometimes we actually own the sites that we're getting links from, so we can get links from those. And, we look after our clients to make sure that we check their existing backlinks to make sure they're not getting any dodgy backlinks from other sites or offending anybody else in forums and blogs and that sort of thing. But that is it for today's show. End of rant. If you have got news you want covered or some tips you need some help with, then go and check out the YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/JimBoot. And there's about 75 videos there you can have a look at. Keep you busy. And the big thing that's coming up over the next couple of weeks is there's going to be protests all over the country about the government's internet filter. One of the things that's just come to light overnight is that the government is also about to shut down Net Alert, which was Australia's only free PC-based net filter, which basically meant that families and parents could get a free filter that was provided by the government to put on their own little computer to protect their family from the nasties out there. Government's going to disband it, aren't they? Why? Well, I guess the cynical part of me thinks that they're probably going to abandon it so that they can bring in the mandatory ISP filter. If they take away the free one, what else have you got? So they're going to have to put in a mandatory ISP level filter as opposed to a PC level filter. So if you're a bit concerned about that, get on to nocleanfeed.com. And that is it for today's show. Remember, got questions? Send them in and we'll answer them. Thanks very much. Bye.